Okay, we're going to be finding the equation to the tangent line. That's going to be our goal. And we've got our function f of x, which is the square root of x plus 1, indicated by the red graph, and y is equal to a half x plus 1, that I can barely read here. That's the equation to the green line. And that's what we're going to have to come up with, and that's this equation. So we're going to find the equation of the tangent line to the graph at x equals 0. So here's 0 on the x-axis, and we go straight up, and that looks like if I plug 0 in, we get the square root of 0 plus 1, which is square root of 1, which is 1. So it looks like that tangent line is occurring at the point 0, 1. So here's our function. We're going to rewrite it into getting it out of radical form and putting it into exponential form so we can take the derivative. But first off, let me add here that our goal here is to get y is equal to mx plus b. So the first thing that we're going to want to find is m, and then we're going to find b. Now m represents the slope, and b is going to be representing the y-intercept. But first off, to find m, we got to find the function that's going to give us the slope at that particular x equals 0. But in order to do that, we're going to take the derivative, because the derivative will give us the slope of a tangent line at any given point on the graph. So I go ahead and rewrite it into exponential form, and then take the derivative, take half, bring it out front, rewrite everything in parentheses, subtract 1 from the exponent, and that gives us a negative 1/2. Okay, so we said that the slope was equal to m, and we were looking at x equals 0, so I plug 0 into the derivative here, and we end up getting 1/2. Right, so 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 raised to negative 1/2 is just 1, and so you're just left with 1 times 1/2 is 1/2. And so here it is, we found m, so now I'm rewriting y is equal to a half x plus b. Now we want to find b. But since we know that x is equal to 0, we need to know what the y value is, so I plug 0 in into our function, and we get out 1. So now we know what the x and the y, we know the point. Right, so the point on the graph is 0, 1. So this is my x, that goes in for the x here, and 1, right, is going to replace this y, and we want to solve for b. Well, this is a pretty easy equation to solve for. Since 0 times 1/2 is 0, b is going to be equal to 1. And therefore, plug it back into the y is equal to mx plus b, so we have a half x plus 1. Now this is the equation to the tangent line. As you can see here, when we plot y is equal to half x plus 1, this is our graph that we're going to get. Now, you plug 0, remember x was equal to 0, into our function. We got 1 out. You take 0, plug it into the tangent line equation, and you get also 1 out. If you don't, then you've made a mistake and done something wrong. Now, something about the slope of this tangent line here, it tells us the behavior of the graph. Since the slope is positive, that means when we read these graphs from left to right, we know that the graph is increasing at x equals 0, and that becomes pretty important later on in the story.